Holy shit, guys. Let me turn the telly down. What an unbelievable game of football we just watched. Unbelievable. Very, very entertaining. The tempo is fantastic in the game. Everton have beaten Manchester City by 4-0. Are Manchester City dead and buried? Is Pep Guardiola, is it all finished? He said Manchester City, this is his final job. He could be out the door tomorrow. It's unbelievable. Now, look, I'm overreacting. I'm sure Pep Guardiola is not going to get sacked. But you have to say, the question starts to arise. They're 10 points behind Chelsea, the leaders. Chelsea have only dropped 11 points this season, folks. 11 points Chelsea have dropped. Sorry, 10 points or 11. I think it's 11. 11 points we've dropped this season. Now, Chelsea would have to drop 11 points again in the second half of the season, which will more than likely happen. But City would have to win all of their games. They're pretty much out of the title race. Pep Guardiola is in serious trouble. His philosophy hasn't worked in the Premier League. And I think this, without shadow of a doubt, is proving again that the Premier League is the best and most competitive league in the world. I mean, looking at the odds, I've just had a quick look now of what Pep Guardiola is odds-wise to be sacked as the next manager. You can get him 50-1 at William Hill, 16 and 20s at Paddy Power and Victor, respectively. They ain't bad odds. 50-1 is not bad. I mean, look, is he going to get sacked? I don't know. I'm sure them odds will come down as the hours go on. But it is unbelievable. Since we beat them, since Chelsea beat them at the Etihad, they have just been a shell of their former self. John Stones is horrific. Defensively, they're terrible. Otamendi, I think, is dog shit. They've got full-backs or wing-backs in Clichy and Sanya, who really are past their prime. Sloppy defensive errors today. Lukaku played fantastically. And as for Everton's, that Tom Davies, what a player he looks like. The goal he scored at the end, which should be his goal, I don't think Lukaku even got a touch. He looks like a fantastic talent. Only 18 years of age on FIFA. He's 58 bloody rated. An unbelievable performance from him. An unbelievable performance from Everton, who win 4-0. Who bridged the gap to... because there was a little bit of gap. There's about a 9-point gap between them and Manchester United. It's down to 6. Of course, United playing a little bit later. I am going to be watching that game, and I more than likely will be bringing out a review for that game. But this is unbelievable. What the hell do you think, guys, about Manchester City? Are they dead and buried? Is their season practically over? The question now arises, you have to probably say the title more than likely is out of the question. Top four's now looking unlikely. I mean, hell, if Liverpool win today, then Manchester City are, 2 points... Well, it doesn't matter if Liverpool win today. They're 2 points away from the top four. If United beat Liverpool today, depending on goal difference, they could... It's unlikely, but they could go above Manchester City and they could sit in 6th Manchester City by the end of this game week. It's unlikely, as I say, but if United win, they're on equal points. And United are in a hell of a lot better form. Pep Guardiola is speaking to the press now. So I will pause this episode and I'll just listen to what he says and give my reaction to what he says in a minute, because his interviews are sometimes as entertaining as Mourinho's. So just going to pause the episode. I mean, he is broken, folks. He's a broken man. The Premier League has destroyed Pep Guardiola. It's his worst ever defeat in league football as a manager. I mean, this guy is on the brink of God knows what, but he is not looking good for Manchester City or Pep Guardiola. And I would not be surprised, and you heard it here first, if results continue to go the way they do for the next couple of weeks, Pep Guardiola actually walks from the Manchester City job. Lookman getting a goal as well when he came on. Just complete and utter embarrassment for Manchester City. Thank God Chelsea didn't sign John Stones. He is one of the worst defenders I think I've ever seen. And as for Claudio Bravo, he is terrible. He overplays at the back. He doesn't keep his feet tight. He always lets balls go through his feet. He can't use his hands when he's in the goalkeeper. If I was a Manchester... I don't know why I get so angry. I'm not a Manchester City fan and find the whole thing hilarious. But if I was a Manchester City fan, I would be fuming at Pep Guardiola for sending Joe Hart out to Torino, bringing in Claudio Bravo. I'd be fuming at whoever the fuck decided to bring in John Stones for 50 million. And I'd be absolutely fuming was that Pep Guardiola, because of, I don't know, perhaps he's so stubborn that he is not willing to change his philosophy. He may have dominated in the German league. He may have dominated with Barcelona. But this is the Premier League and this is the best league in the world. And he is being broken by it. It's incredible stuff. Pep Guardiola, when Manchester City got him, I thought, you know what? Manchester City, they're going to dominate Premier League football. They're going to dominate English football. but his philosophy hasn't worked. And now the question is going to be, when will Pep Guardiola change it? When will he change his style of play? Some managers simply don't. Some managers have a style of play, they have a philosophy, and they will not change it. Louis van Gaal's a perfect example of that, not willing to change their philosophy. Will Pep Guardiola change his philosophy? Because the question is now, not, well, basically, if he doesn't change his philosophy, if he doesn't change the way he wants his teams to play, he will be out of a job and he will have ended his career in an absolutely horrifically terrible circumstances. The man who many will regard him when he came to Manchester City is one of the best managers in the world, the cream of the crop. He's been broken by the best league in the world. And again, I think it proves it. I really do. Everton, we have to give them credit today. They were just insane. But, I mean, it is unbelievable. I mean, I'm struggling to put into words what we're seeing. This is just, I mean, they're capitulating like something I've never seen. Defensively, they're just horrific. I mean, just no... It's like, it reminds me of Sunderland-like defending Manchester City, and it's week in, week out. It's not a few mistakes, it's week in, week out. Aguero's been not too good recently. Yaya Toure's today looked very, very poor. David Silva's the shell of the player he was. Even De Bruyne's not necessarily influencing the game as much as he'd like. They look a shell of the former side. Look, last season, people forget this, last season they underachieved quite bigly. And the big thing for Manchester City now is, and I think what will probably keep Pep Guardiola's job for now, is the fact they're still in the Champions League. Mark my words, if Manchester City get knocked out by Monaco in the Champions League, Pep Guardiola will walk or he'll be kicked out. It's as simple as that. And Monaco are in for some fantastic form. Falcao's scoring for fun. Falcao's got to be looking at this Manchester City team. He's got to be thinking to himself, I've got a massive chance of exploiting them and exploiting that back four hugely because of how shit they are. If I'm Falcao, I'm getting excited about that game. What an unbelievable game. I thought I'd just give my thoughts on that. It is unbelievable. Has Pep Guardiola been exposed? Pep Fraudiola, people are calling him on Twitter. City fans asking for him to get the chop. Everton 4, Manchester City 0. Would you believe it? It's 2017, but some things don't change. Manchester City, they just can't defend.
Now, and as we said, as soon as Fellaini came on, oh, that's tight. I tell you what, he looks offside there, Valencia. It'd be good to get another replay of that. But it's a lofted ball. They know they've got a height advantage in there. Rooney stands up. It's a terrific flick by Fellaini, and unfortunate not to go in on the first count, but Ibrahimovic, he's like a magnet, isn't he? The ball comes back to him here, and he just does enough to loop that over. It's a great finish.